To the Master. You may recall, sir, last month's correspondence listing crimes of exhumation committed upon our hollow graveyard. At that time, 4 graves have been unearthed. We regret to announce 2 more have since been defiled, the corpse therein taken, but that is not why we have written. The identity of the craven thieves has been established, that of Dr. Rudolf Karlstedt. Yes, the visiting physician from the city, none other. We were as surprised as you must be now, sir, but there has been no mistake. Painstakingly we gathered our evidence, and we entreated the good doctor to leave the tower he inherited there at the edge of the town. We would have preferred the doctor come out and face justice, but he betrays himself a coward in addition to a grave robber. He will not leave willingly, and so we must force him out. We go now to batter down his door and drag the man out to face trial. I pray the mob does not get carried away and hang him. So incensed are they by his many crimes against our dead and against nature itself. Our municipality is therefore requesting your presence for the imminent trial of Dr. Karlstedt at your earliest possible convenience. Signed, the town of Vargos. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It's Sunday, and that means we're going to roll some dice. Yes, it's Soloplay Sunday, the day where I drag out some game or another. I roll up a character. I make some questionable choices, and generally just hope to entertain you all with my hillbilly antics. Today, we're delving back into the demiplane of dread, Ravenloft. And, building on Tuesday's coverage of Von Richten's Guide to the Created, I have rolled up a Golem-inspired PC to try and survive a little Soloplay scenario. Meet Brundle. I would say he's a brute of a man, but he's now comprised of a half-dozen men, so you can't quantify who he was so easily. His race is listed as one of the Return. This is a custom race I essentially reverse engineered largely from the 5e Ravenloft book based on the lineage of the same name. Racial boosts are a +1 to either strength or con, player's choice, and penalty is a -1 to charisma, as the process of creating one of these things invariably involves scars and all kinds of unpleasantries that tend to degrade the original appearance and personality. Once again, we're using the 2nd edition player's option skills and powers to round out the character. You'll see he's quite strong, surprisingly limber, very tough, and he came back with his wits largely intact. However, that charisma, yeesh. He has such a strong negative penalty to initial reaction, you almost can't imagine anyone being anything less than hostile at first glance. For racials, I modeled most of the options from the half-ogre template. Seemed to make sense. I grabbed a +1 to the muscle sub-ability score along with tough hide, beefing up that AC as he's intended to not be wearing armor. Just a big, tough brute. I leaned into this concept even more with D12 for hit points and another bonus to his defenses, poison resistance, the ability to move silently, as I had this creepy epiphany of him actually sneaking around and ran with it, along with the ability to specialize in unarmed combat, specifically pummeling. To offset all these nice flavorful choices, I took huge restrictions in armor, weapons, and magic items, so he's not going to be plated up or wielding two-handers or anything like that. It all balances out, and it adds a ton of RP flavor. For instance, I leaned into the basic fisticuffs for his attacks, and suddenly I had this vision of him. He doesn't remember anything from the past lives of the bodies that constructed him, but he remembers how to fist fight. Based on a background role of joined the circus, I had this idea he was a strong man, a pugilist there at the circus, before dying and being put back together. No armor, no weapons, he's coming back with the clothes on his back the good doctor has supplied him. Also, this is the good doctor's first attempt at the return, so he intended for this one to be basically the brute, the muscle, somebody to guard the door and do the heavy lifting. Perfect timing, as the village folks have traced local grave robberies back to Dr. Karlstedt's door, and they're marching up the road right now, intent on breaking it down and dragging him back to town for justice. All right, we have the Tower of Dr. Rudolf Karlstedt. Now, we have some villagers coming up the road. I'm going to use these as the markers. And we're going to say the initial way. Well, actually, you know what? We're not going to worry about how many are outside. There's a mob outside. We're going to consult the oracle at various points to see have they fought their way through the mob, is the mob retreating, etc. So we have Brundle, we have Dr. Karlstedt, This is the top area of the tower. I didn't want to, you can't layer it. That's the bottom layer. Here's the top layer. So we will be moving between two maps here. This is a basic escape scenario. They have to fight their way through the angry villagers to escape. So, and they will do so on foot. Nothing big there. But anyway, so they hear the commotion of the villagers coming up the road. Sorry, there's no streets here. And, they're obviously, they know something's up. And as soon as the villagers start piling around the door, in an attempt to bash it, break it down, they realize like, oh crap, we got to do something. Brundle's just following his creator's instruction. We also have the danger dice, the event dice, whatever you want to call it. Borrowed this from Dragon Bane, the concept. It's starting at a 1, and for every round it's going to go up. So once we hit 6 on the danger dice, the peasants are going to have surrounded the tower, and they're going to be burning it down, which will, the danger level will significantly increase at that point. I have also broken out my old school dice. Look at this thing. This is an old art carrying case that I repurposed for dice and pencils and such. I think I did this sometime back in college. So this case and these specific dice have seen a bit. This was also one of my first actual sets of dice. Back then, I didn't have any money. I was a college kid. Um, and so, there was no money to acquire the various dice sets that, the wife and I have with our disposable income. So these dice have seen a lot too. So, okay, so here we go. Round one, we are going to go ahead and roll some initiative. Basically, we're not going to worry about the doctor. He is a non-combatant, so it really doesn't matter what he does. Brundle has a weapon speed of 0, so he is rolling. He gets a 3. That is unmodified because he's just fisties. The villagers are going to have their weapon speed is either 4 or 6, depending on their weapon. I'm going to split the difference and give them a 5, just as a group initiative. So they roll a 3 as well, so they are at 8. So they are going second, which is perfectly fine with me. So we got villagers outside. Brundle is going to go down first to check things out. He gets off his table here. So he moves 6, and technically he's down here. We're going to use this as the stairwell. He'll have to go through the bedroom and into the living room. Now let's see here. The initial let's see if they can the peasants have let's see if they have broken down the front door. We're going to roll an item saving throw against crushing blow. And we're not going to dive too deeply into the nitty-gritty details of this, as basically we just want to see if they broke down the door yet. So it's not a huge, it doesn't need to be hugely accurate. Okay. Item saving throw. We have wood thick against crushing blow is a 10 or better. The door rolls a 7. The door comes down. Crunch. So, how many are coming through initially, Oracle? We will roll D3 per pack, and we get a 3, so there's 2 coming through here. So 2 villagers have entered the domicile. So, okay, so that was round 1. Round 2, Brundle is moving 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and he has 2 moves left, but he moves in the room. He sees some bad guys. He's going to move 1 more and just engage these 2. Actually, you know what? Hold on. No, see, here's where the questionable tactical decisions come in. He's going to hang back and just attack this dude, see if he drops him, then move in, as opposed to, being right there for retaliatory attacks. So, he is specialist in pummeling. He can do 3 attacks every 2 rounds, so we're going to go ahead and do 2 attacks on his first round. He has a +2 to his attack. All villagers' ACs are 10. They're not armored, they're just angry villagers. His stake goes 20. He needs a 10 or better. His first attack is a 15, +2 is a 17. That is absolutely a hit. His secondary attack, well, actually, Hold up. First, we're going to roll damage. Now, normally you do D2 damage for a fist. However, I upgraded it to D3 because he's stone cold dead. He's got that golem-like, toughness to the skin, rigidity of the muscles. He's probably been treated with weird crap. So, upgraded him to a D3 damage for his fist. So he does D3 plus 5 because of his strength and specialization. Well, he does we roll the 5, so that's 3, 8 damage to the first villager. The first villager had 8 hit points. So yeah, that one is gone. So he just beat the crap out of that guy. He has 2 moves left and an attack, so he's going to move one more. And his secondary attack at this dude is another 15. With a plus 2 is a 17, absolutely a hit. He rolls his D3 plus 5 for damage. He rolls a 6, that's 3 plus 5 to 8 damage to a 4 hit point villager. Just crushes him, blasts him back out through the door. He's going to do one. He has one more move left. He's going to move into the doorway. Now, this is going to prevent anyone from bum rushing in the door. He's basically doing a Thermopylae right there, 300. So, at this point, we're going to need to know how many villagers are out there. And we're going to consult Dragonbane's Oracle because I'm a big fan of it. Okay, Oracle, how many are out there? We roll a d6. Well, we roll high, we roll 5. And it says several. So we're actually going to do 2d6 villagers are out there. Because I was basically scaling it D3, 1d6, 2d6, 3d6. So not the worst, but definitely not the best. There are what? There's only 3? Well, it's kind of anticlimactic. But we're gonna have a variety of we're gonna say there's battle axe involved, or I'm sorry, a woodsman's axe, which I'm treating as battle axe for the purposes of this. And we're gonna have pitchforks, and they're gonna be kind of flanking the door, like, oh hey, hey, somebody came out to meet us. Now, that was round 1. Let's advance the die. There are no retaliatory attacks. So, okay, now we're going to check on our encounter table. And basically, we're going to roll a d10. On a roll, I put the encounter difficulty at 3. This is basically when you have wandering monster attacks. And you see on the chart, it has numbers 1 through 10. And you roll on that on a d10. And if you roll below the presented number, there is an encounter. So I'm setting it 3. And we're going to see if anybody else is coming down the road. So round 2, this is a 3 or less. It's a 5. There's nobody. He doesn't see anybody coming down the road. There's just these 3 guys. So apparently they had an advance force of 5 dudes that rushed up to the tower, got the door broken down, and were expecting light to no resistance from some academic. And then they met Brundle. Now, I didn't move the doctor. He's actually going to move, and probably about here. His movement doesn't matter because, as I said, he's non-combatant. He's going to surrender. He's not going to fight. So it's all up to Brundle. He can attack either of these. So he's going to do that. He's actually going to try to take out. Whoa, hold on. Dice down. Okay, dice recovered. Dice recovered. All right. So he has 1 attack this round. And I think he's going to go after this guy. Those 2 guys have pitchforks. And he rolls a 6. Plus 2 is an 8. He misses by 2 points. No good. Now, bad guys. This guy's going to move up. They are all 3 going to attack. None of them have flanking, thankfully, and there's no rear attacks or anything like that. So it's going to be straight up, swingity swing. Okay, we've got a pitchfork. Is a 3. Now, their Thaco is 20. His AC from the front with his dex is 3, so they need a 17 or better to hit. 3 obviously misses. The woodsman with the axe is a 13, almost hits. And the other pitchfork, 18, that is a hit. Now, a pitchfork deals 1d6 plus 1 points of damage. Oh, maximum damage. Oh, good. Okay, we're starting off rough. 6 plus 1 is 7. Brundle had 14 hit points. Now he's down to 7. So yeah, we're just setting the tone here. We're setting the tone is going to be deadly as usual at Soloplay Sunday.
Okay, so round three. That advances. Probably not a big deal now because you can see. Anybody else coming up the road? 7. No, it's a negative. Now, okay, Brundle, you gotta thin things out. He's going to attack the guy that shanked him with that pitchfork first. He has 2 attacks this round. A 4 plus 2 is a 6. That is a miss. A 14. There we go. Plus 2 is 16. That is absolutely a hit. He does D3 plus 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. That guy had 3 hit points. He is absolutely taken out. So he smashes the dude that shanked him with that pitchfork. So very nice, very nice. Retaliatory attacks from the townsfolk. Pitchfork on the left is a 10. That is not good enough. Woodsman with his axe is a 6. That is also a miss. Okay. We advance the die to a 4. It's getting close to a surge of villagers. Let's see if any patrols come up. 9. That is no. Okay, so nothing new. Just these two. Okay. Now, Brundle has 1 attack this round at a plus 2. 17 plus 2, 19. That is a hit. And he's going for Woodsman. It's the one directly in front of him. 2 plus 5 is 7. He has 5. Drops him. Say goodnight, Woodsman. No sequel for you. So we have one guy left. One guy. He's going to roll morale first, and their morale isn't great. Oh, natural 20. Bye. He's going to attempt to flee, which means Brundle gets a free attack on him at a plus 4 as he's running. Yeah, I mean, 12 plus 2, 14 alone would hit him. The bonus for attacking him from behind is kind of pointless. Oh, max damage just crushes him. Dude had 1 hit point. Yeah, he wasn't a sturdy villager, so he crushes that guy. So that's it for round 4. Now, round 5, I'm going to do a last check to see if anybody's coming up the road. It is a 4. No, there's nobody coming up the road, and the threat dice is only at a 5. So, a success. Success. So that means the road is clear. The Doc and Brundle can bug out. Nobody sees them get clear because all the villagers have been crushed and dead. We have victory. We have victory. Nice.
Well, that was a welcome change since last week. Poor Batavian and getting absolutely crushed by a random 20 for max damage. That sucked. I expected him to go longer, but the gods decided. This one, on the other hand, that max damage skewer Brundle took from that villager's pitchfork, that had me worried. But Brundle came through, and God, it was fun just smashing. I mean, he was just such a brute, just the right amount of damage and bonuses and such. And all of this is to showcase, I think, at least for second edition AD&D, bonuses to attack and damage are really vitally important. The ability to land those blows and have them be for an amount that can shift the battle in your favor, that's pivotal for solo play. Further, defense can be a mixed bag. You had Perch and Vatavian shield fighters with amazingly low ACs at first level, essentially untouchable outside the natural 20, but that's what got Vatavian. He couldn't thin out the herd in a timely fashion. Less dudes swinging at you means less of a chance of getting shanked, so but anyway, that'll conclude this little scenario. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Grave robbing Dr. Karlstedt will escape with his muscle to rob another grave, probably make some more minions. I mean, it's Ravenloft. This kind of behavior is to be expected. Anywho, that's all for today, folks. I do thank you one and all that gave me a moment of your time. I appreciate you, especially right now as the algorithm's still burying my videos for whatever reason. So thank y'all again for stopping by. I hope I entertained you. Now, it is Sunday. Get out there and roll some dice of your own. Gather around the table, make some memories, and while you're at it, pop in a good movie, watch a cartoon, read a comic, drink a little water, and get some exercise. And as always, have a good one.